Good morning, and welcome to the Funny Foodie Queens Pizza Edition. So in my life, I started cooking later in life, but I actually started pizza as my first love thanks to my father. And today I'm going to show you how to make a pretty simple, pretty cheese pizza, but I'm going to do a little olive oil garlic with some tomato sauce and fresh basil so it like lights it up a little. And at home, you can buy dough at the grocery store, you can buy sauce, any kind you'd like, and you can make your own pies at home for your kids or your family, and they're going to love that, especially because we're pretty much stuck home now. Check me out. So I'm going to first scrape off the dough, keeping it in a round shape. I'm going to put it into a bowl of flour. I'm going to make sure I flour both sides so it's not sticky. When these little bubbles are going to form, you're going to kind of pop them down so it's not super bubbly in your oven. Now, you're going to take your hand and form a circle on the outside, not pressing the entire outer, leaving a little space to the edge so that it actually like leaves the crust to rise. Okay, then you start pressing out the middle, keeping your pizza in a circle, and then I kind of press the outer a little, but I never pressed it down like I'm pressing the middle. Okay, next you're gonna pick it up. You're gonna leave your hand like wide open for the slap. So when you slap, you're turning a little as you slap. I've done this my whole life since I'm 10, and originally I wanted to be like my brother and dad, and now my pizzas are super fire, so I'm trying to teach you how to make one. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller than we usually do, just so it's prettier. And we're really not going to eat that much pizza anyway. We don't really like to waste. So you're going to make sure it's in a circle so it cooks pretty. Next, I am going to do an olive oil and garlic little, instead of tomato sauce, on the whole bottom. I'm going to swirl it around. And this is extra virgin olive oil. Everybody likes the virgin. Nah, that's a lie. Anyway, just jokes. Quarantine jokes. You'll be full of flour like me, and that's okay. Alright? Then we like to measure a cup of cheese, but you actually don't need to. It's just however cheesy you'd like your pie. It's gonna be, I use like a handful and kind of circle around the edge more than the inside, because when cheese starts to melt, it melts in. So if you don't crust the outside, you're gonna have like no cheese on your edge. Watch how far out it is and watch how far in it cooks. We like it cheesy, so extra is pretty good. And now I'm going to add sauce to the top. This was supposed to be a little bit different. It's kind of like a basic cheese but a little garlicky and extra cheesy, which I like both, so I'm going to do that. I take this ladle and I swirl around in a circle. I'm not overly soaking any piece of the pie. We're gonna add fresh basil, but not till we actually pull it out of the oven. I'm gonna add some seasonings now as well. I'm gonna add a little Parmesan Romano cheese and a little bit more granulated garlic. For good looks, we'll do the oregano basil mix, tiny bit. And when it comes out of the oven, you'll see more details to what made it delicious. All right, so this oven is 600 degrees, which obviously at home you can't impersonate, which makes its crunch, but at home you're gonna put your oven as high as you can, probably 475, 500, and you'll cook it longer than I'm gonna cook it, but you'll be able to tell by the brownness, the doneness, that it's actually ready. It's gonna be amazing anyway. Some people have a pizza stone, some people wanna cook outside on a grill, all of which will work. You're just gonna do what works for you. I'm just showing you an example. Okay, now, so I'm gonna check on my pizza. There's gonna be bubbles around the edge, so you're gonna pull out your pie. I like to use a fork of any kind. It's actually the perfect little bubble popper because you don't overly ruin it. And if the cheese has moved, you can slide it back because it's not gonna cook on that spot otherwise. It's gonna be empty. So I slide the cheese back. All right. Some people like bubbles, so if you want, you can leave them. Some customers ask for bubbles and some are like, what's that? So I try to accommodate everybody. We're gonna turn the pie so that it cooks evenly on all sides. We're also gonna check the bottom because it starts to cook differently. Maybe in your oven, it's actually raw on the bottom. So what I would recommend is, here we use screens in a really hot oven, which is different because we're actually doing pizza every day of the week. You can use any pan at home, a round or square. I would actually recommend you use olive oil instead of flour at home because it makes for a easier movable pizza for a person who's not a pizza professional. It doesn't seem very hard, but if you put like thin spots in your pizza when you're making it, it's gonna end up coming out like gushy and not nice, and you wanna cook the bottom more, so when you pick up a slice, it stands. At attention, like everything we like, stands when it's happy and ready. So when waitressing at a restaurant, this customer was like, will my pizza be long? And I was like, no, definitely round. All right, this pizza's looking delicious. Definitely crunchy. I'll give it a second on that oven direct. You could always pull it off and put it directly on your screen, but, oven grates, but make sure that you have a pan underneath in case some cheese drips so you don't start a fire. So we're gonna throw some fresh basil, which I just pre-chopped up. Organic, homegrown deliciousness. I love pretty food, so I picked this one little perfect basil leaf out for you people at home. This is our creation. So it's basically a hybrid of a cheese with some extra olive oil and garlic and fresh basil. So it's something simple you can make at home. You can add vegetables, you can add meat, you can add anything you'd actually like. This was just a simple to show you the technique of actually making a pizza. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. You can cut it in 6 or 8. Those are usual size slices. I'm gonna cut it in 6. And at the end of the day,